Little Beatles. I like this groove. And then, I'm Shane Rice, and today we're doing the marketing recap, growth marketing recap call, and I'm covering metrics. So let's see here. So I had how far through the quarter where we are. We're past 50% way through the quarter. And then looking at where we stand for new users and page views. New users were at 19.89% year-over-year growth. Page views is at 13.7. These are both undershooting our target of 20%. Definitely concerned about this. Taking a look at trends, though, we see this time last year is when our Series E announcement went out. Lots of interest in our website around that. So now that traffic is in last year, comparing it to where we're at now. So also something I'm going to cover a little bit later. I do think we have hopefully solved some of the CookieBot issue that we were seeing in EMEA, and I'll share specifically what we did. Oh, hold on. Can you hear me okay?
Your audio is very light, actually. I think you're probably good to fix it before you keep going.
Okay, let's do that. How about now?
Better.
All right, cool. So, and then in our agenda, you can see the breakout for the strategic marketing buckets. I'm going to move on to the MQL commitments. So these are still a little bit of ahead of pace where we were at in August. MQL, large MQL segment is not picking up as fast as I would like. So we're seeing the pace there is about 65%. And then mid-market and SMB are both continuing to gradually pick up pace as we continue into the end of the quarter next month. So that is the metrics update for this week. With that, I'm going to pass it over to Luke. Oh, wait, no, Luke's not on the call. So
Luke asked me to cover for him. I can lead that.
Great.
I just got to put that delicious smoothie down one moment. It literally tastes like raspberry ice cream. What a start to the day. So, thanks, Shane. Let's move into show and tell here. So again, anyone that wants to contribute, screen sharing, highly recommended. I, for one, know I love seeing all the awesome stuff everyone's talking about. And who do we have first here? Hanif. Hanif is probably not on.
Hanif had school pickup and he's not on the call, but he asked me to read this for him. So he's been implementing some schema markup for FAQ and events. So adding that to our pages so that when you go to Google now, you'll see our pages show up in that knowledge box when you search for, like, say, CI, CD, or when you search for like the GitLab hackathon, the dates are now there. Oh, great. Thanks, Danielle. I didn't realize he had put this in the doc there. Yeah. So you can see here, like, if you, what is version control and why is it important? You can see, an answer in the search results, and that kind of helps drive click-throughs, things like that. Oh, we can share Hannah's video if you want to, Danielle.
Cool.
So really excited to share that. Hannah's been focused on that for the last couple of weeks. So we're showing up in search results for voice search, adding additional richness to regular text results. So really excited about that. Great work, Hannah. And with that, I'll pass it over to Niall.
Hi, everyone. So the two things I was going to share, the reason for two is one was kind of finished at the start of the week, and the other was something I've been working on this week. The first, which I'll just share the screen, is just a process for tracking or keyword ownership for the top 10 positions and top 3, both branded versus non-branded. So it basically just tracks our progress over time. Obviously, we're doing a lot of work with keyword and content teams focusing on not just the primary terms, but secondary long-term keywords, which brings in a lot of conversion and traffic, and basically allocating an estimated cost to that. And that's based on what we know from the CPC data from the keywords we own within organic. So it can just show the fluctuations based on the year so far since February. And also then as a calculation for the compound monthly growth rate for those terms over that time as well. So it'll be good to track, obviously, if we start, obviously, over long-term strategies to continue growing the positions within that, but it's good to be able to track if we're losing or if there's any other competition that's arising from that. So it's just a very good way of tracking progress and impact of some of the work we're doing with the content teams. And the second thing is just something I've been working on this week, which is basically there is an optimization project being launched with the blog teams and other elements of the content team. So it was a matter of just pulling information we use from the content auditing process, which can be sometimes technical. So it's just developing something we can, like a spreadsheet, where we can take the URLs and the optimization targets by category we're looking at. Currently, we're just looking at, we export it based on page 1 opportunities for the certain topic areas that they're working on. And then just kind of putting out a fixed list or something we can give an overview on basic different metrics, such as page with high bounce rates, high exit rates, look at a time on page, so we can look at this data and then see to create kind of a fixed list for each page that they can kind of go in and straight away and know at least this is the area that need to be fixed, and then maybe look at keyword placements and other stuff outside that. So it's just a way of kind of integrating the data process from content auditing into the optimization process for the content teams. So I shall hand it over to Stephen.
Awesome. Thanks, Now. Good stuff. Makes my brain explode, but I'm glad you've got a handle on it, so thanks. So here, I'll just share my screen real quick, but we did a copy test, an A/B copy test on the enterprise page. So if you haven't seen it, it's just about gitlab.com/enterprise. And we honestly just tested 2 versions of this hero here. So I dropped them in the doc if you want to see them. And thanks, Becky. She actually originally put this together. I kind of grabbed it from Slack. But the first copy sample was emphasizing GitLab as a partner, that we have tools to support you now and as you grow. So the idea was, let's grow together. Our DevOps platform helps you grow. And the second one, which we ran through Google Optimize and then just split test it, was about your DevOps journey. It starts here, and more about the reader being the point of focus, and that we're not forcing them into some sort of solution, but that we're kind of here for them. We're giving them, kind of whatever they need. Interestingly enough, the test copy, which was copy B, resulted in a 34% drop in visits to the free trial page, which is, statistically significant enough. Too early for that many assets. To warrant us keeping copy A. So pretty interesting test. Thanks a lot to Erica for writing all the copy, Shane for setting this up, and Becky for just helping to manage everything. But the main takeaways that we got out of it was that, we need to keep focused on this messaging, that GitLab is a partner, that it's direct, we're engaged, we're helpful, we're not just kind of sending you off on your own, but that we're here kind of as a partner. So I also thought it was interesting that in the copy A, we focused on growth. And the second one was starting a journey, which I thought might almost sound overwhelming, because it's like, oh, where do I start? And it's this huge, big process. So just some interesting takeaways. I think it reinforced what we were already leaning towards. Correct me if I'm wrong, Becky, but it was nice to get some numbers behind it and see such a significant difference there. So anyway, that's it for me, but hopefully we can keep running these sorts of tests, because it's super helpful in optimizing these pages. So thanks everyone for contributing on that one. Guess I need to stop sharing. There we go. Let's see, I need to pass it on to Shane. Hey, Shane, I think you're on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right, great. So you should see my homepage, or our homepage, with the CookieBot GDPR notice on the bottom here. And what we're looking at, so we made some changes to the copy. We changed this to last sentence. It used to say, if you continue to use our site, you accept these cookies or something, which was not the case. So we updated it to reflect, like, hey, we need you to accept these to get the full experience, basically. So Brandon's got some additional suggestions we're looking at with legal. And then previously, personalization was not checked on CookieBot. And so we've rechecked this now, so it's a default option. So you come in, you just read it over and you're fine with it. You click OK. Now what's going to happen is you'll get tracked. We'll see your visits in Google Analytics. So when personalization was not tracked, we weren't getting any information back to Google Analytics. So that is the update on CookieBot. Really appreciate Brandon and Sarah working on this. I don't want to get into shout outs yet, though. So next up is Bree. She's not on the call. Is anybody going to read for Bree?
I can read for Bree. Bree has made some changes to the content marketing handbook. Pull it and read what the changes are. Let's see. I shared my full screen instead of. So Bree has made some changes to the content marketing handbook. She updated the intro, really just pointing toward our new, more SEO-focused content strategy. She also defined our audience and updated what is the topic cluster, the pillar, and added the content marketing team in here. So before, this didn't really have any information on our content cluster strategy. So if you want to go and kind of read through this, this is a really good overview of what's driving the topic pages, the web articles, and our overall content strategy. Chrissy, I think you're next.
All right, hello everyone. So there are many blogs in this world, but this one is mine. So let me share my screen. So this blog is on how to use GitLab's CI/CD pipeline templates. So this is meant to talk about what our templates are, what they do, where you can find them, and also how to use Auto DevOps, what DevOps does, and why they're great. So I wanted to use this as a sort of platform for linking out a lot of our great CI template content. And next week, I'll be publishing a blog on YAML tips and tricks that will very much coincide with this one. So it's all about just producing new CI content, which is a topic that is high ranking for us. And we can always find little ways to improve that. So that's what I'm working on right now. And this went live yesterday. And now on to Becky.
Thank you. Okay, so what did I say I was going to do? Let me share my screen. So we have a call soon that's going to be prospect and new customer experience with some other members of the marketing team. We haven't had this call yet, so I don't actually have any more information, but this is a prep deck that we put together. But the main reason we're showing it is because there's a lot of stuff in here that's super high level that would be good for having growth marketing conversations when you need to go in and talk about what the growth marketing team does. So it just has kind of a pre-read of the things that we are doing and focusing on for this quarter by each of the teams. And apologies for the brand slide. It just is screenshots because we didn't know what this meeting was fully going to be about, so we want to put everything there. But it has the goals, it has the metrics, everything's linked up here. For Q3 initiatives, it has kind of our key focus and the things we're supporting, and then each of the main teams, and these are linked to the epics as well. So you can just go in there and link out and see all the detailed information without having to repeat it. The other thing that I wanted to quickly kind of give a shout out, because it's starting to really come together, is the phase 2 portion of the website changes were these quick wins. So the idea here was the scope was very small. It was like, put a CTA button on there for free trials. If something is looking crazy, fix it. See what we can do. And Vic this is later in my shout out, but Vic and Steven have been doing a good job of getting some quick like visual changes in there, and Erica has really been doing amazing work on the copy. So I just want to show you kind of like 2 that are crazy that we had to do quick wins on. So this was the Why GitLab page before. I mean, this is in our roadmap to do a full refresh on, but this is what it looked like before, and after just some quick things, it's much cleaner. You know, we have just this on here, which is something that we didn't think that we would have before. We have an actual piece of information on here. It's just looking much better. And then search, this is currently what search looks like. This actually wasn't down here before. It was just this bar. And we are, Steven is still working on an update to this portion right here. But Vic put together this illustration. This is just her MVC1, so it'll be adjusted. But we're going to go from having kind of just this page to having a page with a beautiful illustration and some quick wins for search. So I just wanted to point that out, that even though that was a very small scope, and I know everybody wanted to, you know, do a lot of stuff on them, those small changes are making a big difference. So that is it for me. I will stop sharing, and up next is
I think I have
Erica.
the last one. Well, I just wanted to show some work that I did this week after a conversation with Jackie on our campaigns team. I'm going to quickly share her mural board that she's been working on, just to give context of where this came from. I don't think she's done here, but she's kind of laying out the full funnel journey for a prospect through conversion. And so here we have the website and blog, and I went in and kind of am doing a zoom in on that area. So this is our topic and web articles pages, and then how we're going to drop people into different Path Factory experiences, and then actually outlining what that content looks like. Right now our Path Factory experiences are like 20 plus assets in one. So we're going to bring that down to about 3 to 5 with the goal of getting them to convert. So this is just kind of a visual of what that's going to start to look like. And hopefully if we get Typeform, which is a interactive quiz tool we're evaluating, we'll be able to actually put a quiz on these pages and collect a little bit of information to drop them into the correct Path Factory form based on their persona or the market size company they work for, whatever we decide to do. So this is in preparation for Q4 as well. The marketing team is going to be continuing to build out our topics library. We're also going to be taking a look at these Path Factory experiences and the content in them, and making it more targeted. And with that, I think we're on to the shout out section. So just a reminder, this is just a time to call out someone who helped make your week awesome in some way. And Brandon, I think you have the first one.
Yeah, so like Shane mentioned, we've been working on CookieBot, and just in general, you know, we ask a lot of questions of legals. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Lindsay Sayers, who's been really helpful and quick to respond and knowledgeable and all these things about, you know, can we do X, Y, and Z on the cookies? And, you know, I've asked her in the past stuff about Marketo and other things too. So just really appreciate all the help she's been giving.
Yeah, and I'm up next, and I want to just echo what Brandon says for Lindsay, and also shout out Brandon and Sarah Daly for their help with CookieBot and making sure that it functions the way we need it to, and to pivot to update some of that functionality, make sure we're covering all of our use cases. And then I have another shout out on top of this. And this one, I want to send a tremendous stack of virtual imaginary Krispy Kreme donuts to Todd and Steve Lloyd for helping to clear the way for updating the logged out redirect on GitLab.com from a temporary 302 redirect to a permanent 301. And then also want to shout out Cameron McFarland, Hendrik Mayer, and Craig Barrett for their help from the infrastructure team for making that happen. And then also Dan and Reza at SALT for their consultation around Cloudflare workers and helping to identify that as a channel that we could use for handling this kind of tricky redirect with our infrastructure setup. So that's all my shout outs. I'm going to pass it over to Becky.
I just wanted to say, I know Vic isn't on the call, but she has been doing amazing work on these things. And I know, sometimes assets are just the pretty quick wins, but going in, I haven't even had to ask for something. She's gone in and said, okay, I'm putting this on my milestone and I'm going to get this done. So we've had extra beautiful things to add on to all of these web pages that we thought we wouldn't have before. Okay, to Lauren.
I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Brandon. I've had a couple MRs come through this week, and he's always really quick to review them and get them live. Helps me move along some other projects. So thanks. On to Michael.
Yeah, just a quick shout out to Erica. We had a quick chat yesterday, and she was going in on the neuroscience of copywriting, and I just found it so fascinating. And I'm a big fan of being the dumbest person in the room, which happens more regularly than not. So if you can ever get her talking about it, I find it fascinating. I found it helped me understand how to use her thinking in the work that we were going to do going forward. So thanks for brightening my week, Erica. And Chrissy.
Yeah, this is just a quick shout out to Newt on the marketing programs team. She just saw something I put in a different issue and then reached out to me on DMs, and we had a few jokes. And something that happens when you work remote for a while is that you lose some of the serendipity of just random interactions with people. And so it was nice to just get a DM and have some jokes with someone instead of talking at a public channel or talking at, and I know we don't do DMs here, but it's just kind of nice for someone to reach out and say, hey, I see you in particular. And it brightened my week, brightened my day, and just wanted to thank her for that.
Awesome. Well, that brings us to the end of our shout outs. And unfortunately, we are out of time today for the town hall questions. So Brandon, those are some great questions you've got there. We can work async, or we can also move them to next week's agenda. And with that, I hope everybody has a rockin' rest of their week. See you Monday. Bye.